Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's good to have you with us today. I've got here a marvelous instrument made by Brent Peters. This is an unsolicited video because I'm going to trash the guy. Just kidding. Did a marvelous job making this. This is a Pudgy. And I remember, I think one of the first times that I saw Pudgy, it was the Horn Trader, marvelous trumpeter out in California. He was playing one of these and he started off the video and he said, "Is it a flugelhorn? Is it a cornet? Is it a trumpet? No, it's a Pudgy." He spoke a little more normally, but that was my first introduction to it. And I thought, it's a cornet with a trumpet receiver. I'll tell you what, it's not a cornet, it's not a trumpet, and it's not a flugelhorn. It is a Pudgy. And it is, I believe, the funnest instrument I've ever played. Somebody asked a few days ago, they said, "Could you make a video on the instruments that you would never sell?" Well, I've sold them all. I enjoy the difference and the variety. However, I would always like to have a Pudgy around. The one thing that's so cool about this is not a slide for the first valve. The first valve is above it, but this is actually part of the Belle, and it is a whole horn tuning slide. So coming out of the first valve, you've got a little wrap around here that is a tonal device or an intonation device. There's also the traditional third slide that is proper, and you got a finger hook for your pinky. This is a 5 1/4 inch, 90% copper, 10% zinc Belle from Canstel. Wonderful. Quite an open lead pipe, and this is a Carroll brass valve block. The model that Trent built for this is called the Pudgy, and it is the American Belle. It is so fun to play. The only thing I can't do on this is maximize my upper range. And believe it or not, it's because it's a little bit open here. I like a little resistance. I've got a Benge 4X, which we'll compare it to, and also a wonderful cornet and a flugelhorn. But at any rate, probably enough talk for now. Oh, Saturn water keys, which are really nice. But what I'm going to do, I'll just play it a little bit, and then we'll compare it to some other horns. And I'm just going to use the old song, My Favorite Things. I love the intervals on this, and we'll play it the way it's supposed to be, tempo-wise, and then just ad-lib a little bit with it. I'm using on this I think it's just marked a Reeves 3-7. And it was a piece that's been altered quite a bit. It's about the cup of a 42, maybe a 41, somewhere in there. I use a 41 rim with mostly 42s. This is slightly deeper and a little bit more of a bowl or C cup type than the 42C, but pretty close, just a little deeper. And I want to think this plays like a trumpet, but it is a little mellower, perhaps because of the Belle, but just a marvelous instrument. Okay, My Favorite Things. Okay, now, we'll play that same thing with a trumpet. This is a Benge 4X, same mouthpiece. You'll notice the trumpet has a little more carrying, brilliant tone. Could be the bell. Of course, this is a very light belled instrument, the bench. And back to the Pudgy. Okay, I'll play just a little bit of that again, then we'll switch to a cornet. And I'll tell you, the cornet mouthpiece is a Yamaha 11C, and so it's going to be slightly deeper cut, but not very much. And with the cornet, one of the best cornets ever made, this is an Olds recording cornet. And the Pudgy again, pretty similar, aren't they? And once again, the cornet. Okay, now I'll tell you this. When I played the Pudgy briefly before, most people felt, oh man, with that flugel trumpet mouthpiece, that's the way to go. The only reason I'm playing a shallower piece is I want to show you the real potential of the Pudgy. It can do anything. It is fantastic with a deeper cupped mouthpiece and a larger throat, but it is not limited to merely trying to chase after a flugel sound. It is an extremely adept instrument. I find it much easier to play than the cornet because where the cornet has a very small receiver, conical based, the Pudgy is more trumpet-like with your same bore size all the way through. And the Olds recording, of course, ends up with a 470 bore where it starts off smaller in the receiver, but the Pudgy is a 460, more like a trumpet, not the conical type. Okay, I'm going to go the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm going to use a Reeves C2J, very large, 11 drill, very large cup, a sound to die for, and we'll compare this to the Flugelhorn. And we've got here, lucky day, one of the best flugels ever made. It's a Yamaha 631G. Okay, again, the flugel sound. And compare the bell size of these two. The flugel is a 6-inch. The Pudgy is a 5 1/4. The flugel, of course, is going to have a much larger throat. Much larger throat. Flugel-like, but you can hear a little bit more bite to the Pudgy. Okay, once again. And the Pudgy. Okay. And I guess that was with the Reeves C2J, very big trumpet flugel mouthpiece. Now I think this really comes close to bringing out the best of both worlds. This is a Trent Austin TATF, Trent's trumpet flugel piece. I've used this for years. If you've watched any of my videos before, you've probably seen this mouthpiece. I believe I've used it longer than any mouthpiece that I've ever had. I don't use it all the time, but I do use it very consistently. It's a perfect blend between a trumpet and a trumpet flugel mouthpiece. About, I believe, a 24 drill, quite a deep V, but with that 24 drill, you can still play up with it, but it gives the deep V just a marvelous sound. Okay, love that sound. And again, that is the Trent Austin trumpet flugel, his TATF. Okay, what do we have here? You recognize that, those of you that are trumpet geeks? Oh yes, a very shallow jet tone. And this is the custom B, as in bad boy. All right, pretty sharp sounding mouthpiece. And again, just trying to illustrate, and most of you will probably say, oh, it sounded great with the trumpet flugel. But when I have a trumpet, I want to know what's it able to do as far as diversity goes. What all can you enable it to do? Now, Trent Austin has several videos of Pudgy's. I believe he and Brent have known each other for some time. And Trent does a great job, of course, incredible range. I am not quite so gifted, unfortunately. But we'll try and see what this will do in the upper register, at least to my extent. I get up to a high C, especially on these videos, where I still get a little bit nervous. I'm very happy, but we'll try and show you again what the Pudgy will do with a little bit more of a lead type mouthpiece. That was not my upper range. That's as low as we can go, G, G flat down underneath. All right, you got it an E above high C. And again, I don't know that this instrument, I'd love to have another one of these Pudgies, but there is no money in the bank for that. They are fairly costly. Oh, while I'm talking about it, last time I heard from Brent, he did say he had 3 or 4 more of these bells. Beautiful bell. 90% copper, 10% zinc, I think they said. I shined up the inside last night. This is bare metal. It's developing a beautiful patina on the bell side. Of course, you can see the yellow brass here, and the you've got the nickel silver, of course. I believe he's using a valve block from Getson for most of his new ones, but he has a few of these Canstel made. Lovely, big bell. And I think he said he had 3 or 4 of those left. And better get in touch with him. I'll leave links there. I'll leave links of several guys that I've seen that did a masterful job playing. And a friend of mine up in Ohio that Golf for Fun, I think his name is, that did a great job discussing his Pudgy. He's got a beautiful, but this is the American Belle. Hope you've enjoyed it, folks. As always, it's just a pleasure to do these videos. Love the comments. If you've got experience with a Pudgy, let us know what it is, and take care. Any questions, we'll certainly be glad. I'll give you the link to Brent Peters' setup. He is the man that is making the Pudgy right now, and we'll show you as well. It's spelled P-U-J-E, if you can see that. And this, of course, is the American Belle. And I think down here it says Brent Peters. I'm recording at night, so it might be a little hard to see this. Again, take care. Hope things are going well with you. Don't forget to hit the like button. That's the one with the thumb up. That's the thumb up. Subscribe if you like. We do all things trumpet and trumpet geek oriented. Take care. Have a great day.